right, we ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woof.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf's Den, and today we are going to be talking about something that, well, if you remember our older stuff, if you've been following the podcast loyally, first of all, thank you. Then you know that we used to have a little show called Twisted Notes,
There we did.
where we share with you our taste in music only, where we discuss music only. Our taste is just a little bit twisted, I believe is how that went. Share with you our love of music only. Our tastes are a little bit twisted. There we go. That felt more natural. We covered Ghost.
Yes, we did.
Now, at the time, that was legitimately just you, which, by the way, yes, as you can tell, my co-host Xeiren, big sister, and it was the Belgian in wolf's clothing, Varren, and I kind of look back at that episode and don't care for it very much.
Well, there was a lot of things going on at the time, like the fact that we had just started that segment. Ghost only had, like, what, 2 or 3 albums out at the time that were well known. Like, seriously, during that time frame where we recorded it, like, there were other acts we had that just had so much more material. Like, the Ghost fanaticism hadn't quite kicked in yet.
Yeah, Ghost was year 2 for us, though. So, but it hadn't fully kicked in. I didn't have that appreciation for it. So, yeah, I look back at that episode and I don't care much for it just because I feel like I'm just kind of there.
Yeah, it was kind of just the hot new thing at the time, and we were like, hey, we should cover this because, we like it, and we think this could really go places. But needless to say, the ghost phenomenon has gotten a bit, movie.
Yes. Yeah, so, if you didn't get to see it, I'm so sorry that you missed out on it. I'm really, really hoping, whether... I'm sure this will get some type of digital release. Absolutely, do I want a fucking physical release? I will put a Blu-ray or DVD or whatever the fuck on my shelf.
Oh, absolutely. So we're going to be covering Right Here, Right Now.
Yeah.
As you can see right there.
Which was available for 4 days. Right there, right now.
Which got extended in a lot of cities. Like, it even got extended in my city to a full week.
Really? So it got a second extension. Because originally it was only supposed to be 2 days.
Yeah. So, it was one of those things that happened on, like, TikTok and Instagram. I was just scrolling through. Because I went to go see it the last day it was supposed to be in my town, which was Sunday, that weekend. Because it premiered on Thursday, and it was supposed to be Thursday and Friday. Then they were like, nah, bitch, if we're going to do, like, an opening weekend, let's do a fucking weekend. And so Ghost was able to manage most places to give a full weekend. Other places had longer running times, just depending on where they were. But I got the notification from I think it was Instagram, directly from Ghosts themselves, saying, "Hey, you guys made this, like, in the top 5, if not, like, the top 10 grossing movies this weekend." So we're in talks with most of the theaters in all the countries that we were able to, push this movie to give, like, at least another 2 to, like, 4 days worth of showings.
Nice.
And even in my little itty bitty town over here, we were able to get it through, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. throughout the week,
Mm-hmm.
and it was freaking fantastic. And the whole reason they had to do that was because there was this whole thing at the beginning before the movie, where they had you film yourself for like a bonus content project they were going to put
Yeah.
online. And the
I
problem with that
yeah.
is that they had to fuck with the website for that bonus content. There was a countdown, and all of a sudden they're like, we have to reset the countdown because now we're gonna have like so much more like content to pull through because of all these extra showings. And so that kind of mucked with people's anticipation of the bonus content. But it's like, you know, good things.
Like I didn't participate in that. I watched that. There were a handful of people in my theater, a good handful, who were doing that. They were filming and doing everything. And I saw, like, yeah, during the whole little bit, like, they would cut to, like, actual, like, footage from, I think, previous screenings. You can see, like, the audience and stuff like that. Like, that was...
Mm-hmm.
That was so fucking cool. Now, also, I'm fairly certain, I think I can, with great confidence, say that, yeah, your email probably started with, coming from, from the clergy.
No. It was just straight up.
I'm surprised they didn't do that.
At all the fins. It was just a photo announcement on Instagram, basically saying, hey, you know, here's the rankings, and then they just gave a description below the photo what the fuck was going on and why people were so confused over the bonus content website, because all of a sudden things just went absolutely insane and people didn't know what to think. They're like, wait, no, I have this countdown on my phone. It's part of this widget I have now on my phone. What the fuck is happening? So when I tell you that this is probably the best concert film you will ever fucking see in your life, I mean that.
God, yes.
Like, most filmed concerts are just that. They are concerts that are filmed. They are concert films. They'll do a lot of fancy camera work and lighting stuff to make things feel more cinematic. But oh no, Ghost is just too much about the drama, because one of the things they weren't doing back when we originally did our first Ghost episode was they didn't have like the chapters and stuff on YouTube. Like, Ghost has been building lore, so much lore. So much lore. And so basically right here, right now is a movie about one show at the Kia Forum, and it all revolves around Papa Four and Sister Imperador and the philosophy of letting go and living. Like, that's the movie at its basic core. But because it's Ghost, of course it's full of shenanigans and metaphors and Easter eggs and weird fucking visuals that have the lore mongers like myself going absolutely fucking feral. Don't even get me started on all the references to Alice in Wonderland for no damn good reason that's never explained. And doesn't tie back into fucking anything on Ghost's YouTube channel. I'm just like, Tobias, what are you doing?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
He is just
why are you?
fun. He is just.
Like, why are you screwing with us like this? It's like, it doesn't make sense.
And some of my look, he also hits like that little bit of an immaturity level too for like people who just. I'm sorry, his little the ones on YouTube and then even in the movie, I could not stop laughing at the little fart jokes that he would put in occasionally.
Oh god, that
one was fantastic. I love breathe in, breathe out.
No, I did not release 2. 3. I had 3 songs.
Yeah.
So
breathe in.
Anybody who knows.
What do you find so sorry, I'm sorry. What do you find so funny? You think that's air you're breathing?
So, just to give people an introduction who do not know, in the band Ghost, there has been 4 lead singers, technically 5.
Yeah.
You have Papa Nil, or Nihil, as I like to say, because it just sounds better coming out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge me. And then you have Papa Primo, Secondo, Turzo, and Copia. Cardinal Copia.
Cardinal Copia. Yeah.
Breaking all the naming conventions for what feels like no reason until this movie.
Yeah.
And basically, each Papa goes through an album cycle. Except for Copia. He's had 2 album cycles. Mm-hmm. And of course, he feels the sword of Damocles hanging over his head.
Well, they imply like that some of them it's not even an album cycle. Some of them only got a couple songs.
Oh yeah, and that's the case with Nihil, because the band supposedly got started in the 60s, and he only had an EP, 7 Inches of Satanic Panic.
Yes,
which
by the way sold the fuck out as soon as it dropped. When that released, holy shit! I was like, oh man, this art looks really cool. I kind of wow, there is no fucking chance I'm getting that.
Oh yeah, I was not able to get my hands on a vinyl. I did get my hands on the shirt though. Luckily, they started licensing the image out to like Hot Topic.
Oh, nice! I need to get that. That was amazing.
It was sick. I love it. It's one of my favorite band shirts.
Yeah, but, Kiss the Goat and Mariana Cross. I want to say real quick. Yeah, first of all, a lot of your favorite songs. If you love Ghosts, most likely your favorite songs are gonna be in this movie.
Oh yeah, so just to go to the beginning of the movie, mm-hmm. After the preface, I was getting at.
Sorry.
So
I'm excited.
Basically, I know. So basically, Copia has been feeling like for a while, like he's got the sword of Damocles hanging over his head. Mm-hmm. He's not quite sure exactly who's in charge of the ministry, because you got Sister Imperador, who he now knows is his mother.
Yep.
And you have Papa Nihil, who he found out only very recently is his father.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, even though they constantly tell him what to do and how things need to be done for the ministry's sake, and talking about oh, you did this better or worse than your brothers who came before you, like there's still somebody else yanking shit around, and he can't quite figure out who or what's going on. And this movie hints at a couple different things. One, that is not really a person, it's more of a concept.
Yeah.
Or just some greater power, not necessarily a person. But also at the same time, it's probably a person.
I'm pretty sure it's a person, yeah.
But that's the thing about like ghost lore. You never quite know exactly what's going on until they just drop kick you in the face with it. And
I kind of have a feel like it's what's his name who had the little popcorn bag in the fucking.
I mean, maybe, but
he feels like he's somebody important.
True, and so the film starts out, and just to give you an idea, so I've become a much bigger Ghost fan in recent years. Same. I have become kind of rabid to the point where I track things online, and I have friends who send me shit like on the daily. And right around a year and some change ago, there was a show at the Kia Forum, and there were a couple articles written about the show at the Kia Forum that they did, because fans were coming back from the show going, well, that was weird. I've been to so many rituals. Why was this one weird? And it wasn't bad. There were just things that they weren't expecting. And people hang on every word the papas say, because of course, they're lore hunters. They're trying to figure anything and everything that happens at a live show, on YouTube, at meet and greets, at random performances. It's all considered part of the story.
Yep.
And so any little odd thing that takes place is cause for concern. And people came back from that show going like, okay, we weren't allowed to have our phones out. Like, they were very adamant about this, that if you even attempted, like, you were just going to get thrown out of the show. No ifs, ands, or buts. And people were like, well...
Yeah, that's unusual.
That's very unusual for Ghost. I mean, some venues are getting, like, really hung up about that shit. Like, even I went to a freaking show for A Perfect Circle that did that shit. But then again, I know Maynard is temperamental as shit, so
yeah.
I kind of just accepted it. But yeah, sometimes it's not the band, sometimes it's the venue. But no, there was just like intense warnings about, you know, don't bring out cameras, don't bring out your phones. And then people noticed that there were no pit photographers at this Kia Forum show either.
Mm-hmm.
And then Papa Copia was just saying some really cryptic shit about the nature of life at one point, and like he was trying to Cersei the crowd, but there was like this huge gap and a camera in the way, and people were like, no, I want to get Cersei. What's going on here? No, turns out that I'm just sitting there in the theater waiting for this fucking movie to start, and the first thing I see is the Kia Forum.
Yep.
And I go, oh, that explains everything. They were filming a fucking movie and they didn't tell anybody. Which is hilarious that nobody figured it out sooner.
I'm there a little bit, sis.
I mean, sure, there's probably people who figured it out before I did, but I'm kind of a dum-dum sometimes. I'm very busy. So,
well, like, I was watching that, and I'm like, okay, so, first of all, let me share, okay, because this is going to be different, I think, probably different from you. I had a very interesting experience with this. This was my first time kind of getting to be around like-minded people when it comes to Ghost.
Yeah, I remember you texting me that night going, oh my god, I had no idea there were so many Ghost fans here.
Yeah.
What the frick? There was so much face paint!
Yeah, so I get over to the theater, and I'm like blasting Ghost on the way. So I get over to the theater, and as I'm sitting there, or as I'm like going through the parking lot trying to find a spot, first thing I start seeing is people getting out of their cars, face paint, one or two of them are wearing Ghost t-shirts, and I'm like, gee, I wonder what they're here for. And I kind of chuckle, and then I sit in my car, I wait, because
they're there for the new release of Bambi.
Well, one of the ones they showed was The Crow, and I'm like, no!
No.
Yeah, I will just, I'll go ahead and nip that in the bud. I'm not looking forward to the new Crow movie. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But
I will say this. Aesthetics-wise, meh.
Mm-hmm.
Am I also a graphic novel whore and noticed a lot of things that they're adding in from the graphic novel that only people who have read the graphic novel would fucking know about, and so that makes me a little excited. Yes. How they're going to present it, I will reserve judgment until I actually see it. That's just where I'm at with it. But moving on.
If I see it, I ain't going and seeing it in theater. But
that's
so
fair.
I'm sitting there eating my Taco Bell because I just went and got a couple of tacos so I could like have something in my stomach because I was a little bit on the broke side. I was like, I could get popcorn. That's about all I can pull off. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching more and more people. Like, I'm like, holy shit, these are all, they're here for this. There's no way. I get out, I go up, and one of the first things that happens, I open the door, and there's a couple behind me that I just kind of, I just go ahead and open the door for them too. I hold it open. The guy's girlfriend is just full face paint, full fucking face paint. And she's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. I think I can guess what film you're here for. And we both get a chuckle. And so I get up to the line, and like, yeah, there's like a decent amount of fucking people. I get over to go take care of my ticket, and I stop. I'm talking to the guy because he's like, oh yeah, here, go to this one, go to this one, go, yeah, like saying the same number, and I'm like, okay, and I get up there, and I'm like, hey, he tells me the same number he just told like 15 other people ahead of me, and I'm like, so this is a really big deal, huh? Like, I didn't expect this. He's like, yeah, no, it's like they're just all coming out of the woodwork. Like,
Oh yeah.
he's like, I love the band too, but like, I had no idea that this many people in Texas, in this town, were like,
So just to give you a good
fans?
idea of like how insane this was, the very last showing at my theater was 3 p.m. on a Sunday. Nobody, and I mean nobody, goes to movies at 3 p.m. on a fucking Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in 112-degree weather.
Right?
That theater was half full at 3 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yep.
And we were all bouncing and bopping and like trying our best not to unhinge the chairs from the fucking concrete that they're bolted into. Like, Ghost fans are fucking rabid.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
thing that kind of kills me is just like, Ghost fans are everywhere, and yet it took something like this for people to realize like how big ghost communities are.
Mm-hmm.
In even small towns, because like, you're not in a very big city, I'm not in a very big city, and yet
Yeah.
and yet,
Yeah.
like you said, they came out of the woodwork like fucking roaches when the flashlight gets shoved in the wall.
Yeah. So like I get to the room I'm supposed to go to, and I almost dropped something. I go to pick it up, and I'm like repositioning. I think I was wearing a hoodie just because I'm like, because it can be cold in the theaters, but I'm like, I'm gonna just go ahead and tie this around me because holy shit, it's actually kind of hot in this theater. So I get it. I go to get in there, and like the door opens, and this older lady walks out, and I'm like, she's like, hi. I'm like, is this the one for Ghost? And she's like, yeah, it is. Go on. I'm like, okay. So I go in there, and yeah, there's just so many, and like you could tell, like I think like the majorly, like a lot of the older fans, like clearly the ones who've been around since the beginning, were like down in the front. There's some of the younger ones like me and everyone else. We were like all up top, and I'm sitting there next to this couple. We're like all chatting back and forth. We're like, dude, I had no idea. Like, yeah, no, I had no idea. Like, we're just gushing over that fact. And then, yeah, once certain bits started happening, we were laughing. I had to actually ask someone, because she's like, oh yeah, I can't wait. I've been looking forward to this. And I'm like, hey, so what is this movie?
Nobody knew.
I'm like, so like, is this like, I have an idea. Like, two different ideas of like, is this like an actual just concert film, or is this gonna be like a concert film with plot? Like, I kind of had a feeling.
The answer goes the latter.
Yeah, it was the latter. And she's like, so I've actually been, she said she's been following it loyally. I think she found out, I think she has some sources. She said basically what this seems to be is that it follows from the YouTube series. And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm behind by like 3 episodes. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, it's okay. I've heard. I think I got the gist. Like, okay, I can do this.
The one major thing you had to know going into this is Copia figured out who his parentage was. That was it. That's all you really. Yeah, that was all you really needed to understand. Was like, okay, he knows who his mom and dad are now. So, yep. And so just to get into the film proper, so like we were talking about before, there was this whole thing at the beginning where it's like, yeah, take out your phones, here's this QR code, make sure you follow the instructions. So that's going to be all online bonus content later. They're still compiling that. I looked like a sweaty platypus, so I didn't But
Fair.
I know plenty of people who did go to, because I went to the daytime show, so
Yeah.
I was looking like fucking roadkill.
Yeah,
Walking in
I was
there,
9 at night, so
like if I had the ability, because I wanted to go to the Thursday night show. Guess what? Sold out so fucking fast.
yeah, yeah, I
and
got lucky.
and I was not so lucky. And so you know, because I'm at the daytime show, I'm like, oh god, I'm so sweaty. I'm still red from being out in the frickin' sun.
Mhm.
Nope, I'm not pulling out my camera. There was a couple people who did, which I was like, yay! I
Yeah.
get to see people I recognize when this shit comes out later. And then the movie starts kicking in proper. You see the Kia Forum, and you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That's what happened at the Kia Forum show. Alrighty then, that explains most everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just keep going back and forth between all of these songs, which, oh my god, all of them were shot so beautifully. The lighting was immaculate. The performances were immaculate. I like you just to give you guys a clue. Like a lot of concert films, like you'll just get like one really good decent set. It's usually a little more drawn out than like an average show. When I tell you they went above and fucking beyond for that show,
yeah, they did.
It was an 18-track showing.
Yep.
And that's with the 3-song encore.
Yep.
That they did for this show. It was fucking insane. And you have Imperium, you have Rats, you have Cersei, you have Absolution, Call Me Little Sunshine, fucking
Spillways.
Spillways in the 20s.
The one I was waiting for the most. Like, okay, you've got Kiss the Goat happened. You had
yeah, that was what they had like right before. Right before the encore.
Yep.
And like
Mariana Cross.
God.
Can I say? I want to say real quick on Mariana Cross. First of all, fantastic segment because it's animated and it was hilarious. I loved it. But here's the thing about Mariana Cross. This is the second time I have actually heard him. That I've actually seen him stop at the afterwards at the end and go back to the crowd and have them repeat what he's saying so that they realize what they're saying. Which by the way, yeah, Mary Anna. Yeah. Mary Anna. Yeah. And I love that. And he goes, it just stops and goes, marijuana!
Yep.
And you got Dance Macabre. That was the one I was waiting for. That, like, all of them got ticked off my box, and I'm like, okay, Dance Macabre, come on, Dance Macabre. Oh, holy shit, and it happened, and of course, yeah, perfect timing, perfect place for it, too. I was so happy.
And so, like, you're watching the film, and you're like, okay, this is a concert film. I came to a concert film. And then Copia goes backstage.
Yep.
Oh, shit. We're getting movie, but it's everything that's going on backstage. Okay, this also explains the weird formatting of that show.
Yeah,
because it had to go along with the plot of the movie. Okay. And so basically the entire time, I'm not gonna go into like super heavy specific details because we'll be here forever.
This dickhead's stealing my thunder. Yeah, that was the funny on stage shit was great.
Oh yeah, you still get all of the antics and, you know, all of Papa's like weird ass speeches in between songs and shit. But every time he's going backstage for costume changes, getting rigged into like wire stuff because, you know, there's stuff for like floating around the stage and all these different things, he's interacting primarily with the backstage crew and his mother, Sister Imperador. And there's this sense of this is Copia's last show. And yet he doesn't want it to be. he just wants to hold on. He's like, no, I've kept this going as long as I have. I've done better than all my brothers. Like, who says this is the end? Like, why can't this just keep going? And she's like, son, you have to realize eventually you gotta let go of the past. You can't just keep repeating it into the future. That's not how this works. Things change, things evolve, you know. And then, like, in the middle of the show, there's this whole string quartet with piano segment that he does. He gets off the main stage and goes into like this floating stage in the middle of the forum.
Mm-hmm.
And he's talking about, you know, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're happy, and that's just the roller coaster of life.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's coming to terms
People around me
with
cried.
his. Oh yeah, I was crying too.
I kind of teared up a little bit. I was like, oh man, that hits.
It's this thing where like people who went to that Kia Forum show were just like, wait, are we gonna see you again? Like, is this your last show? And then he did other shows after the Forum show, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, people were so confused for the longest time, and it was all because of the plot of the movie. And then, you know, you got Nihil trying to like talk sense into him, which he sucks as a dad. Like he just can't communicate with Copia to save his life.
When you get to the end, do the crucifixion. What? Why would I do that? It sounds painful. No.
No. The pose. You do the pose.
Do the pose. To show you have given everything you have. All. You have given your all. You have nothing left to give.
And so, for those who don't know, in the ghost lore, it is essentially this. Every time a papa is done, they basically take him away off the stage. He is killed. And then a new papa takes his place. Like, that's usually how this goes.
Yeah, which has happened, like, in the middle of a show, apparently. Yeah. Is, like, what happened, I think, with the third one is
Turzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they just literally yanked him off stage, and then Copia replaced him. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What just happened?
What?
Did I just witness a kidnapping? Like, that was the vibe.
Yeah.
And so, like, both Nihil and Imperador, they're trying to basically guide Copia through this. They realize they've been the shittiest of parents, and they're just trying to give Copia this one life lesson.
Mm-hmm. And
it's one of those things where it's like, all of the other papas have been emerituses. Copia technically is not an emeritus. Sorry, emeritus. I can speak. He's technically not an emeritus. He's an imperador.
Yep.
By name. And so instead of suffering the fate of all his brothers, which was basically to die and be shown off in a glass coffin for, you know, VIP people who buy VIP tickets to certain shows because it's that kind of a band. Yeah. Where they show these like effigy corpses in like museum form in glass coffins because it's called Ghost for a reason.
Yeah.
Instead, at the end of the movie, you get this sort of like ascension analog where, you know, he gives his all, he does the pose, and he's kind of whisked into this surreal rapid montage, and you realize while he is ascending beyond the station of band leader and this is his final performance, like, he looks behind and he notices that Sister Imperador is not okay. And he's been in denial this whole time of her health failing. You get little tidbits here and there, a la like FNAF 4. Like there's all these little like snippets where it's like, wait, did I just see a saline bag? Wait, was that some pills or was that candy? Like, what's going on? And then you realize just how in denial Copia was that his mother was okay. And when he finally realizes that she's dead, he gets a letter basically saying, guess what? You're head of the ministry now.
Yeah.
And you gotta run shit. That's why this was your last show. You weren't gonna die. You were getting a promotion, stupid.
Which I guess we should have said spoiler warning, but whatever.
You know us.
You know us. We spoil. We always do.
And if you're here to listen to us babble on about right here, right now, you knew what you were in for.
Oh yeah.
We can't control ourselves.
This allows me to actually get into what an interesting experience I had where me and a few others laughed at the end, because during the credits, half the audience got up and left. And I'm looking around, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You cannot, no. And the rest of us are just kind of looking at each other like, wow. And we've stayed when the song finished and the credits do its thing. That song is awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah, the new song, "The Future Is a Foreign Land,"
which is supposed to be the third missing song from
7 Inches of Satanic Panic. Which honestly, it is so good. It is so freaking good. And honestly, like, the soundtrack for this movie will definitely be on my list on top of all the other albums I've got, because let's be real. This is one of the big reasons why people do these concert films, simply so they can have
which,
live
by the way, drops
versions.
at the end of the month. It drops at the end of the month.
Yep.
Go and get ready to grab that. Yeah, it's...
Oh yeah. And then they add a new song on there just to make sure you got your money's worth. Yeah. And so we get to the end credit scene, and you just got the entire, ghost apparitions of Copia's family standing around him, just being like, yeah, you're gonna do fine. It's gonna be great. But we got to get a new leader for the band. Basically, the new false prophet, because that's essentially the function of the leader of the band Ghost, whoever it may be at the time. They're part of the unholy trinity, which is the devil, the antichrist, and the false prophet.
Yeah.
And
his dad telling him, like, hopefully this guy's better than you. You suck.
And it's just like, Nihil, shut the fuck off. Like, you got 3 fucking songs back in the 60s. You knocked up Imperador, and that's your fucking claim to fame.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Even his mom is just like, shut up.
Meanwhile, all your other sons from God knows who many mamas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, had 1 album cycle and they fucking died. She's like, shut up. And then as they're standing in the ministry, you just see this shadow figure come up to the doors, which have frosted glass, and then the end credit scene cuts.
Yep. And everyone in the audience was like, ah!
And it was funny because that happened at my theater too. Everybody's like, oh, God damn it. And to which I said, you expect them not to leave you edging?
Yeah.
Like, that was my only response. I'm like, it's Ghost. Of course they're going to edge the shit out of you until they, like, drop the next album.
Yeah. Like I didn't say that, but I was just like, yeah. I just turned to the rest of them like, well, yeah, that's not much of a shocker. Just stay tuned to YouTube.
Exactly.
Just stay tuned to the channel.
Now, here's the thing. Because I'm a lore whore.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I have my theories.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing I didn't talk about during that death scene.
I know what you're going to talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I caught it too.
If you're paying attention, you'll realize that it's kind of just going through Imperador's life, including giving birth to Copia. But for some reason, they show 2 babies.
Yeah. There's a twin.
And you're like, Copia's got a twin?
And I think that's...
Copia's got a brother?
Yep.
Or a sister? But most likely a brother, because, like, all the singers have been men. And let's face it, it's Tobias.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be interesting if he found a female singer. That would be interesting.
Oh, that would be crazy.
I can't begin to think of how that would go. But, like...
No, like, it's just gonna be a different character. Now, Now, here's the thing. I think there are two possible very strong candidates. One of which people know rather well
Mm-hmm.
from the advertisements for the movie, as well as the whole covers album they did rather recently.
Mm.
And it's the preacher man from Jesus He Knows Me.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like, it's just another version of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Or, or, and I know this is a big, like, fan favorite amongst my ghost loving friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the lead singer of another band. Specifically, the band Tobias had before Ghost.
Oh.
Because before Tobias did Ghost, he had another band. I can't recall the name of it right off the top of my head right now.
I forget, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And the character he played for the him being the lead singer of that band was a guy named Mary Gore.
Hmm.
And he would often show up on stage with just blood streaks going down his face. He kind of looks like a fucked up punk zombie.
Okay.
And, like, that's his whole shtick. And so I'm just sitting here going, like, oh my god, how hilarious would it be if all of a sudden, like, Copia's worked his way up the ranks and now he's the leader of the ministry, and he's finally like, yes, I'm going to do things good. I'm going to do them right. I'm going to do them proper. Everything's going to be, it's going to be great. It's going to be fine, and people are going to listen to me. People are finally going to listen to me, and people are going to appreciate my ideas, and I will keep the system going. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, the new lead for the band is this punk rock asshole who's like, fuck the system. I just found out who my parents are, and I was told to show up here because you got a job for me. What do you mean you need me to follow this set of rules? Fuck your rules. Fuck the man. And then all of a sudden, poor Copia is just like, I just got this job, and now I'm immediately getting the middle finger. Well, this is bullshit. No, you're my brother. You're supposed to help me. It's like, fuck you, fuck the man. I don't know you. I didn't know our parents. I didn't know shit. Like, I'm just here to rock and roll and, like, suck blood and fuck chicks. Fuck chicks. Like, just, like, he's just a fucking mess. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, Copia's job to be like, no, but, like, we have a mission, and, like, I love you. I'm just a silly little guy, and I love my family, even if I've never met you before. It's just very gorgeous flipping him off. Like, honestly, that's my favored outcome. Mm-hmm. For all of this. I would love a return of Mary Gore and just basically have that character just rubbing up against Copia and being like, okay, these two do not work together, mm-hmm. but we're gonna make them work together, and it's gonna be odd couple shit, like, the entire time.
I could see it. I could totally see it. So we'll see what happens, but, like, I could definitely see it.
But yeah, that's just one of my pet theories right now. But yeah, if you like ghost music, if you like silly shenanigans, if you like just a silly little guy in, like, face paint tugging at your heartstrings because he's just so goddamn lovable, mm-hmm. and you like shenanigans, like, and Satanism, this is, like, your movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say, yeah, real quick, while sitting in the audience that I had, everybody sang along. We all were singing along to every song that played. So we all knew the lyrics by heart. And there was, like, no shame. Everybody, you could hear it, and, like, everybody was enjoying it. I turned to the girl I was sitting next to, and, like, when Cerise came on, I was like, yeah, this is actually the very first Ghost song I ever heard. So this actually means something to me. And like I love it. Cerise is amazing.
And you got to have that experience of being that bitch in the front row, being reached out to because they made that work with the camera stuff, and I'm just like, yeah. Oh my god, like that was such a high moment for so many people.
Oh yeah.
In the movie, it took everything within me not to just reach my hand out in the fucking theater.
Same.
And be a fucking cringe, just being that cringe-tastic bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, even
Cerise...
with like the theater half full where I was, like people were not like screaming the lyrics. I swear half the people in there were fucking hungover from the night before. Like, but we were all like whisper singing to ourselves and bopping along, and we would like every once in a while like look at each other and be like, "Oh, that's why the seats are moving." Yep, I'm at a Ghost concert, but in a movie theater.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yeah.
We all understand what this is, and we're all just here for it.
Yeah. And like I'm fucking Spillways comes on and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Okay. That one is like one that cemented absolutely that I adore Ghost. And then but I'm like sitting and waiting, I'm like, okay, like wait, once it gets to the encore, I was like, okay, I'm really, really, really hoping for this song. And then we get, oh shit, fuck, I forgot, what was the first of the encore? I don't know why I'm forgetting.
It was Dance Macabre.
No, that was the second.
Was?
That was the second.
No, okay, it was Kiss the Goat.
Yeah, that's right, Kiss the Goat. Yes, because Kiss the Goat starts, and I'm like, thinking for a second, like, oh, it's Dance Macabre, and I'm like, no, this is Kiss the Goat. It's amazing. I still fucking love it. And I go like, I really hope Dance Macabre happens. And like the girl next to me is like, yeah, I hope so too. Like they have to. Oh yeah. I'm like, okay.
That was the song that pulled in so many.
Mm-hmm.
Like that song was fucking insane when it came out. People could not stop listening to it. It was
I have the music video. Pop. I have added over probably about 1,000 views to it on my own.
I don't doubt it.
Because I fucking love it. It has everything I love in cheesy horror.
Oh yeah. And then of course the last song was Square Hammer, because of course that's where the title of the movie comes from.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you on the square? Are you on the level? Are you ready to swear right here, right now, before the devil? And it's like, yep. That's so it had to be the finisher, which was one of their earliest hits.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Every single one of them I knew. Like I think there was maybe only 2 songs that like it took me a while for me to go, okay, no, I have heard this. But like everything else, oh my god. Yeah, I'm in love. This is awesome, and if it gets any kind of release, for fuck's sake, people, go check it out.
And then the bonus song, The Future is a Foreign Land, the new one, that got played over the credits.
That got played over the credits simultaneously as it was playing over the credits, or I think like right after the credits. Right after the first showing that I saw at 9 and then ended at like 11:30, they released it on, I believe, Spotify.
Yep.
But it will not get an iTunes release until the full soundtrack drops.
Yeah.
And that's
just kind of that's
July 28th.
And that's just because of a weird thing of how iTunes works.
Yeah. But I'm eagerly looking forward to that. I need to go ahead and check out the covers that they did, because I missed out on some of those.
Yeah.
It's so good. Ghost is awesome, and they have fun. God damn it.
Yes, they do.
Like they've had to go on record multiple fucking times because, like, yeah, they get a lot of shit. My mother gave me shit over this, but like I had to explain to her. She looked at it and went, "Oh, I get what's going on here." Like, yeah, dude, it's making fun of shit. It's not really fully what you think it is. And I loved, I read this one quote where they were like, oh yeah, they're becoming, I think it was like, I can't remember which album it was, but they were accused of becoming mainstream, and they're like, yeah, no, you're becoming radio friendly. And they're like, yeah, we're banned in we're banned on most radio stations. They're like, oh, you're doing it for America. It's like, we're banned in most radio stations in America. We can't even get our shit printed in America. Most CD places won't even handle us, and all this other stuff. But and they're like, and then this, and this. They're like, yeah, but yeah, no, of course, no, you're right. America is accepting us with open legs.
Yep.
But now they've eased up, and I think it's because people have caught on to the gimmick, and it's like, well, fucking chill, people.
Well, one, they're originally a Swedish band, and if you know anything about the metal scene, bands that come out of Sweden tend to be really fucking scary because Swedish black metal is fucking intense.
Yeah.
And then here comes along this band with a lot of intense imagery.
Yep.
But their sound is much more inspired by like 80s like glam and arena rock. Like they have fun with it in a way that like Styx wanted to have fun, but they actually succeeded at it.
Yeah. Like they straight up said that a lot of their gimmick and like the look and stuff, the way they do things, it's got a lot of inspiration from Coven.
Oh, a lot of inspiration from Coven, a lot of inspiration from
Black Sabbath,
a lot of the original heavy metal kings and queens.
Judas Priest, I think, is one of the ones they listed too.
Oh yeah, they're very theatrical, and that's the thing. If you suddenly realize, oh, the aesthetic is part of the theatrics.
Yeah.
Okay. yeah, I can get behind this. It's all fun and games. They're not taking this nearly as seriously as other bands would.
No.
It's all about building the drama and building the lavishness, and it's all for it being a feast, not just for your ears, but for your eyes.
Yeah.
And as far as like people giving Ghost shit for being more digestible, fuck off, you pretentious prick. I don't give a shit. Let people like what they like. And if you have a very narrow definition of what rock or metal music is, you can go bite the corns on the bottom of my toes. Like like I don't care. It's fun, it's well produced, it like the lyrics are nothing to fucking scoff at. It's like, it's great music, and it's done with passion, and it's done with so much fashion flair and attention to detail. And not only that, they've made it this multimedia universe that spans so much stuff. And if you don't like Ghost, don't talk to me. Like, that's pretty, like, I don't make very definite statements like that. But if you're the kind of person who's just like, man, you know, I just like other stuff more, we're chill, we're fine. But if you want to sit there and bash on Ghost, like, I will just look at you and go, eyesight.
Like, one of my favorite, like, before we wrap up, one of my favorite stories I like to tell a lot of people is my first time, like, on the street, technically, but, like, you just out in public, like, having a run-in with a Satanist. And it was because I went to a fucking Buc-ee's of all fucking places, and the dude was working there. And I'm trying to get my shopping done, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to, like, figure out where I can, like, which one's open for me to check out. And this guy, like, waves me over, and he's like, hey, over here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he was, like, checking my stuff out, and I'm like, oh, thank you. I was hoping there was room. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, you're good. And he's, like, smiling as he's, like, checking all my stuff out. And he's like, hey, so you're one of us. And I'm like, what? He's like, the shirt. And I realized I'm wearing a shirt that has the imagery of Baphomet.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, oh, And it all clicked with me finally, because I was like, oh, I didn't. No, dude, I'm sorry, I did not realize that this shirt was satanic. No, I am not. I am not. But I got it. He's like, oh, he's like kind of disappointed, and I'm like, but like I got it from I bought it from a YouTuber who is openly satanic, so I guess I should have actually really made. You know what? Let's just call me dumb. So.
No, that the next time somebody says that kind of shit to you, you just look at him and go, "No, I'm the ditzy sister. My sister is one though."
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh no. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no, but dude, like, he's like, but we're cool. I'm like, dude, I have friends who are, and like, yeah, it's like, no, I just like horror. He's like, okay. And he's like trying to wrap his mind around. I'm like, dude, horror and like the concept of horror and satanic imagery go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that just kind of blows past a lot of people.
And I literally blew his mind. He was just like, huh. You know, I never actually thought about that, but you're right. I'm like, yeah. So like, I'm a huge horror fan. I'm not like a Satanist or anything. He's like, oh, okay. But we're cool. And I'm like, oh no, dude, fair, I have friends who are. You're good. You're good.
to be fair, like, the YouTuber you got that from does horror movie reviews. It just happens to be an open Satanist.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But I'm like, okay,
hi, Jackula.
Yeah, hi, Jack. Yeah, like I literally have just like looked at it. I'm like, yeah, no, we're cool. I'm like, dude, I love all of this shit. Like, I'm a huge horror fan. Like, fucking love Nightmare on Elm Street. He's like, oh yeah, and I'm like music wise, like I love Ghost. He's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah, we're good.
Just oh god, yes. That's the funny thing is like so much of like the ghost lore is based on this idea of the ministry being a satanic organization, and therefore like just working within the realms of Satanism. But just even for as many Satanists who I know are fans of this band and this movie, like the funny thing is that so much of the Satanism that is incorporated into the shtick for Ghost is not like modern Satanism at all. It's all like archaic occult with a capital O. Interpretations on Satanism. So like it's even more fun if you're one of those like people who like studying that shit for fun. Like, because there's so many tidbits sprinkled throughout Ghost that just make you go, oh, they're making that reference. Cool.
Yeah, I've researched and I picked up on some things. So, like, yeah.
Oh yeah, like I think that pretty much covers it, though.
Yeah, no, definitely check this out. And if you don't listen to Ghosts, but you want to, like, our ramblings got you interested, fucking check them out.
Oh yeah.
All of their stuff, all of the albums are on YouTube, by the way. You can literally just go to their channel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you
want to hear the most You want to hear the most cracktastic thing? Apparently, there's a rumor going around that they're trying to get it streamed on Disney Plus.
Oh my god.
I'm over here just like, Copia will be a Disney princess. Sparkles, Wibbles. I mean, if any Papa deserves it, it's him.
Yeah, I can guess what's actually happening there. It's probably trying to do it through Hulu, which is owned by Disney, and you can actually watch.
Yeah,
Hulu
most
through
likely,
Disney Plus,
most likely.
Which is how people have been making Jigsaw a Disney princess now. Because fun fact, guys, if you go on Hulu, you can watch like all the original Saw movies, and you can watch it through Disney Plus through the Hulu app within it. So like,
yeah, that's where they
fucking
hide.
Funny.
That's where they hide their shame that they still want to make money off of.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, huh?
But yeah, that pretty much covers it. Like, again, like this kind of works as our honorary like follow up to Ghost from that original episode, but
Oh yeah.
also is a late to the murder party. I mean, technically somebody does die in it, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm
it
gonna
all
cut.
works
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, this is. I didn't say it, but yeah, this is a late to the murder party, folks. This is a surprise episode. Caught you the fuck off
But
guard, didn't I?
well, I mean, to be fair, like we were gonna have to talk about this regardless of category. I just think it's fun
Oh
to
yeah.
like theorize. What kind of episode is it? Is it a Twisted Notes revival? Is it a Late to the Murder Party? Is it two bitches cackling over their favorite shit because they had time on a Friday?
Yes.
Yes.
Varren wanted to cover this too, but unfortunately he didn't get the chance to see it. However, stay tuned because later this year we are, and I nobody's backing out of this. Whoever is going to join for it, it is happening. We are going to, and this makes a Ghost connection because I learned some fun facts about behind the scenes of some of their concerts. Sometimes the members in their masks are not just random people, but are specific people who decided they wanted to sneak on and do stuff. And one of them has been confirmed to have been Dave Grohl at one point. So,
That
stay
doesn't surprise me.
tuned because that motherfucker made a movie.
Oh no.
And we will be covering Studio 666.
Ah, God.
Do you not
As
like
if
it? Because Varren fucking loves that movie.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. I just think
Oh.
it's funny that this is getting mentioned to me for the first time right now, considering my friends have recently come across what they call the the fucking hell brain work, please think the Grohl aesthetic.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically just David Grohl on TikTok just doing random shit. It's not even really an aesthetic. Nobody's taking it seriously. It's just this man's shenanigans.
Oh, that man he has so much fucking fun.
So he's been in my inbox damn near daily for the last week, with people just now starting to discover him in short form media. And I'm over here going, like, guys, he's been around since the early 90s. Like, you're never gonna catch up with everything.
No.
This man is a menace. He's always been a menace.
Yeah.
But
and Studio 666
it's
is a love letter to fucking 80s horror. I'm telling you this right now.
I'm totally down to, I'm
there's
totally down to watch it. I'll be there.
Yeah, there's practicals. There are practical gore effects in that.
I mean, I would hope so.
A lot of them. And, like, one of them is cutting someone in half with a chainsaw from head to crotch. So, like, yes!
Ow.
Oh, yeah, there's more to it. But, that's spoilers. And, we're not at the review yet, so... socials.
We'll see you guys later.
You know what? Hey, wait, guys, this is still a proper episode. Socials. Where can people find you?
Oh, yes. You can find me. You spell my name Xeiren. On TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can now find me on Threads before it becomes absolutely tainted like all other forms like it beforehand. You can find me on Blue Sky where things are still pretty tame. Don't find me on Twitter. It's chaos over there. Save your sanity. But you know, if you're a little hellion, I mean, you can find me there too. You can also find me over on Varren's Twitch streams every Monday, driving him insane, playing RPGs, and of course, you can find me here.
Excellent. And you could, of course, find me here with Wolfson Productions, whether it's YouTube or Podbean From the goofy ass anime to the shocking horror, Wolfson Productions, your number one stop for equally nerdy reviews of nerdy media. You can also find me over on Twitter under Mistress Ookami. That's MistressOokami. That's my name. Don't wear it out. And if you're feeling extra generous, head on over to the Wolfson Patreon, where you can get access to episodes that may or may not drop to the general public, episodes that most certainly will not drop to the general public, behind the scenes, all sorts of goodies, all for just a measly $1 a month. Remember, folks, your $1 a month, it goes a long, long way. And until next time, fucking check out Ghost. Dear fucking God, let's do that. Come on, people. That's all I got. Good night, everybody! Ow!
Are you on the square? Are you on the level? Are you ready to swear right here, right now, before the devil?